Hello everyone, welcome to my Oldschool Runescape High Level Barrows guide. Earlier on when Oldschool Runescape was just released, I made a low/medium level Barrows guide, but now that the game has been out for quite some time, a lot of you have requested that I make a new high level guide, and I thought that that's honestly is a pretty good idea, because the methods that I used in my original guide were quite honestly quite outdated and, well, not nearly as efficient as they can be. So in this guide, I'm going to have some decently high requirements and some decently high gear requirements, as well as stats. So, I guess as long as you consider yourself a relatively high level with relatively good gear, this guide will be for you. So, let's start off by getting into some of the requirements. Alrighty guys, so in this guide I'm going to be showing you two setups / methods of killing them. The first method that I'm going to be going over right now is the camp method. Basically the method that is going to allow you to stay at Barrows for a very long period of time using minimal prayer potions, and basically if you have the stats, it's basically the best way to go as far as, making money and lasting a long time. So let's go over the requirements / recommendations for this method. So first of all, we have 70 plus attack, strength, magic, and range. This is for your black salamander. You absolutely need those stats to do this method minimally. I highly recommend 82 magic so that you can use Ice Blitz because it has a huge advantage over Ice Burst. It gives you 2 extra hits with the salamander, I believe, before it comes unfrozen. And 80 plus attack and strength. Now the reason why I recommend 80 plus as far as, not 70 plus but 80 plus, Karil and Ahrim are the two brothers that you're going to be meleeing. And sometimes I am currently 90 attack and 91 strength, and even with those stats and a Sarah godsword, I find myself sometimes, just hitting zeros, and you end up using a decent amount of prayer on them. So the higher your melee stats are, the better off you're going to be as far as, ensuring that you're not wasting prayer points on any of the brothers. So okay, no, so next we have the requirement of 43 prayer. This is a requirement. You absolutely need to have 43 plus prayer. But to be honest, if you are watching a high level guide, you should not be 43 prayer. Highly recommend 70 plus because, again, when it comes to meleeing the brothers, which are the brothers that, they're the wild cards. You never know. Sometimes you hit like shit and use a ton of prayer. So having piety in those situations makes a huge difference. So highly recommend 70 plus prayer. Requirement, ancient magics. You need this. It is extremely crucial to this method. It's kind of the point of the method so that you don't get hit. So you need ancient magics. And 50 plus construction, that is just a recommendation. That's cool. Just ringing phone. 50 plus construction is just a recommendation. Personally, I like having it because I can tell you to my house, use my prayer, use the Karil portal, boom, I'm back, Obviously, it's not a requirement, and if you don't have it, you can just go on roll 330 and use someone else's house as well, but those are all the requirements / recommendations for this method, so let's go over the gear for this method. Alrighty guys, now on to the equipment. As you can see on the right, I have listed some upgrades, well, I guess not really upgrades, basically just downgrades. I guess all I can say is use common sense as far as downgrades go. If you don't have something, use the best thing that you have, kind of speaks for itself as far as just use the best thing that you have. You may want to pause it here if you want to take a good look at the listing. One thing I will quickly touch on when it comes to like boots and your cape and stuff like that, it really is not going to make a big difference no matter what you go with. Personally, I choose to wear Infinity Boots over Dragon Boots because I feel like the magic bonus and the fact that it doesn't give you negative magic attack, obviously it gives positive magic attack. It's why I go with the Infinity. If you go with the Dragon, you're not going to see a very big difference. So, same thing with if you don't have a Fire Cape. If you use a God Cape, you're not going to notice much difference. So, again, some of these things, they're like the best that you can get is this definitely not necessary. Just use the best that you have. And as far as rings go, if you have a Seer's Ring Eye, that'll be helpful. But, personally, I choose to use a Ring of Life just because, just in case I disconnect. Why not? It's just extra insurance, if you will. So, again, pause this if you need to look at it for a little bit longer. But, alrighty, let's move on to the inventory. Okay, guys, so now we are here, ready to go over the inventory. This is where it is going to change for a lot of you. So let's just start from the top. Obviously, if you have full guthans, then you're going to want to bring the spear along for healing. And if you have a saradomin godsword as well, definitely bring that for healing as well as prayer. I use my saradomin godsword to kill karil and ahrim as well because it has pretty good stats, so... obviously, if you do not have a guthan spear and you're not using guthan's armor, then you're not going to wear guthans. So, and obviously you don't have an SGS either, then you can replace it with. Hold on, let me get to my. As I said, if you do not have a godsword and you're not bringing a guthan spear, your inventory could look more like this, where you bring a whip and a defender. I have a dragonfire shield as well, and if I were not using my godsword, I would choose to bring the DFS for the extra defense bonus, but. I would say that if you can't afford guthans, then you probably don't have a DFS either. So, again, if you're not using guthans or don't have a godsword, you should bring a whip and a defender. So, carrying on, I choose to bring a staff of water. This is not required. I would say that it is recommended, but it is not required. If you're casting Ice Blitz or Ice Burst or any of the ice spells for that matter, they do use water runes, and because you get deaths and bloods back from the chest, they kind of pay for themselves, but water runes you have to come up with yourself. You have to, get them entirely not from Barrows. So I choose to, use a water staff because they are unlimited water runes. Again, you don't have to do that, but personally I think is a pretty smart choice. Obviously you need a spade. This is a requirement as well. Telly to house, I use this for when I'm done with my trip. Holy Wrench, okay. Holy Wrench we have to have a discussion about. I assume most of you, if you're watching this, probably have a Holy Wrench. If not, you get it from the Ghost Ahoy quest, and what it does is it gives you extra prayer points per dose of prayer potion that you drink. Now, what I have been told is that if you are under 70 prayer, or if you are 70 prayer or under, like me, you only get one extra prayer point per dose. But if you are 71 prayer or higher, you get 2 to 3 extra prayer points per dose. So if you are 71 prayer or higher, it is absolutely worth it to bring a Holy Wrench. Personally, I choose to bring it despite the fact that I'm not 71 anyways. I just choose to bring it because sometimes there are kills where you just need one more hit, and that one extra prayer point can save you from getting hit before it dies, you know what I mean? So, personally, I choose to bring a Holy Wrench, but again, is not required. Death runes and blood runes, if you are using Ice Burst, you would replace the blood runes with the chaos runes. And then prayer potions and sharks. Now, I can't really tell you how many prayer potions and how many sharks to bring. You kind of have to go to Barrows, see how good you are at it, and then figure it out for yourself, if you know what I mean. Basically, if you are really good at Barrows, you can get the freezes down, all that. Then you only need to bring a couple of sharks, and you can fill the rest of your inventory with prayer potions. But personally, I only bring 10 prayer potions at a time due to boredness. I get bored after 10 prayer potions, and I just want to leave anyway. So, that's pretty much the inventory. Again, just use what you have. Like I said, if you don't have guthans or a godsword, bring a whip and a defender, and you don't have to use the staff and whatnot. So, again, upgrade where you can and downgrade where needed. Okay, guys, well, now you know what you need to have as well as where. So now let's get over how to get to Barrows. Alrighty guys, so there is one extremely easy way on how to get to Barrows now. You click on this quest tab, you click on the little red guy, select minigame, click on Shades of Morton, and click on teleport. I will do that in a second, but just in case, because maybe, I don't know, your teleport cooldown isn't over and you can't tele back, I will show you how to get there. So, in order to take the path that I am taking right now, you need to do the In Search of the Myricue quest. I guess it's kind of a long, annoying quest, but again, if you're looking up a high levels Barrows guide, I would half expect you to have it done by now, but maybe not. Regardless, I wouldn't even recommend that you have to do this quest because of the new teleport. You should never need to run like this, but people tend to complain even if you don't put simple things in guides. They'll be like, "Oh, why didn't you show that?" It's like, okay. Yeah, that's another annoying part. You do usually lose a piece of food. So, I guess if just follow the path that I ran on, pretty basic, and you board the swamp boaty, and you will arrive near Barrows. Once I land, I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to do it. So, obviously, like I said, you go to the quest tab, you click on the red button, you go to minigames, you click on Shades of Morton, I already have it selected, and you click on teleport. So you're going to do a home tele animation. Sorry, I'll just, get on with this. And conveniently, it's a free teleport. You can do it once every half an hour, and boom. Yup, you are right here. So, again, you should never have to use the swamp boat method anymore. All you should have to do is use that teleport. And then just follow this path north and then east. Alrighty guys, now that you are here at Barrows, we can get started. Now there is a lot of discussion about what the best order to do Barrows in is, and I will show you guys the order that I do them in. So, okay, so you're going to start off, make sure your black salamander is on blaze, equip staff of water if you are using it, dig, and click on protect from melee. Once you get down here, you want to use ice blitz, and stand on the corner, just like that, and magic, boom, cannot hit you. That's why this method is so amazing, because you can take basically no damage from the melee brothers by standing on this corner. You do, again, because you do not take any damage, you do not have to pray against the melee brothers. I choose to pray against dharok though. DH, dharok, I'm sure someone will be like, oh, you said that wrong. So, we'll just say DH. I choose to pray against him simply because he has the ability to hit you so hard, and it's just better off not risking it. Okay, guys, so now that DH is dead, I like to run all the way south, the southernmost hill, I guess. Equip your melee weapon and dig. This is Karil's tunnel. So, again, oh, I should have been on this. Awkward. This is, again, where having piety really helps you, because you can flick piety, and it really usually does help your hits. Again, I am 90 attack and 91 strength, and as you can see, I have hit 2 zeros already, so it's quite annoying. But yeah, just kill Karil standard with melee. Not really much else to say about that. Okay, so once Karil is dead, go back up, and then I head one tunnel north. This is Ahrim's tunnel. I choose to do them in this order because I feel like DH requires prayer, Karil requires prayer, and Ahrim's requires prayer. So my theory is that if you do, okay, it's my tunnel. Anyway. My theory is that if you kill the 3 brothers that require prayer right away, you use the least amount of prayer, because you drink your 2 doses of prayer potion at the beginning of each run, and that's it. That's all you have to use. So once these 3 are dead, it does not matter what you do after that. The remaining 3 melee brothers, you can do them in any order. But, alrighty, so now that you guys basically have the gist of how to do it, I will kill verac for you guys really quick, just so you can get, just get a good general idea of how it's done. I'm not going to show me killing torag or guthan, because obviously they are killed in the exact same way. So, again, this is another method, too, that I highly recommend you. It takes a bit of practicing. You can count how many hits. It's 1, 2... 3, 4, 5. And on the 5th hit, after you hit 5th 5 times, run away, equip your staff, and then freeze him. If you do that, you literally cannot be hit by them. If you are using Ice Blitz, after the 5th hit, always run away and catch a freeze. That's basically the only thing you need to know about it. Obviously, if you're using Ice Burst, it's going to be 4 hits, so on and so forth. But, alrighty, once you have gotten this far, you kill Guthan and Torag in the exact same way. Alrighty guys, once you have killed all of the brothers except for your tunnel, head down the tunnel. I will put in a quick little thing about the puzzle that you need to complete. The tunnels are a bit different than... I mean, when you first start Barrows, the tunnels can be a bit difficult, but it doesn't take very long and you get the hang of them. Basically what it is you're going to head down the ladder, and in the starting room there is only one door that you can open. Head through that door. and make your way around. So as you run by, you can see that there is a central door, if you will. You know, there's a door that leads to the center. If you cannot open it, do not go that way. So as you run by, you know, try and right-click the door. If there is no open option, then you do not want to go that way. So again, just carry on running around. This is the point where your guthan spear and your godsword come in handy. You can heal off the monsters. Okay, so here is my open door. I'm just going to do the puzzle really quick. It's that one. So, like I said, I'll put in that little puzzle guide a little bit before I am doing all this so that you guys know which ones are the correct ones. That's the only thing you have to get used to is doing the puzzles. So, again, this is my ahrim's tunnel, so wait until the face pops up. That's another tip. When the face pops up, like that is when your prayer gets drained. Whenever the face pops up, that is the exact second that your prayer gets drained. So if you have to drink a prayer potion, I highly recommend that you wait until that pops up and then you do it. So when you open the chest, your brother is going to appear, so you're just going to want to kill them. There you go. Okay, he's down. And now you can loot the chest if you want to, but personally, I choose to get kill count. Now, let's really quickly talk about kill count. I recommend, because it is the best possible kill count, I recommend that you get 14 kill count. 14 kill count is the minimum kill count where you unlock blood runes and bolt racks. So after 14 kill count, it doesn't matter. Once you hit 14 kill count, though, that gives you the most amount, chance to get blood runes and bolt racks. So anything higher than 14 is a waste of time, but anything below 14 is a waste of money, because if you get less than 14, then you're not maximizing your opportunities to get blood runes and bolt racks. As far as Barrows items go, kill count does nothing for Barrows items. Absolutely nothing. Getting Silk's kill count has the exact same chance for a Barrows item as getting 1,000 kill count, so keep that in mind, and because it does take a bit of time to kill these minions, so if you really just want to be in a hurry and get as many loots done as you can, you may just want to loot the chest. But again, I highly recommend that you do get 14 kill count, excuse me. Alrighty, I'm just about dead. See, now I took a little damage, so I will take out my guthan spear and try and heal on this guy. I might not heal, though. Oh, well, there's a little baby heal. I'll just SGS spec him. Alrighty, so once you have gotten 14 kill count as I have, or 6 kill count, whatever floats your boat, you are ready to loot the chest. As you can see, I got some bolt racks and some chaos runes. I do recommend that you keep the coins. I know I used to just drop the coins, but if you're doing this camping method where you can loot the chest up to 20 times per run, 1.7k coins for 20 runs, it really does add up. So in order to get back out, just follow the exact same path that you came in on. Don't get me wrong, it happens. I forget all the time my path, and when that happens, you kind of just need to run around and try and find the doors that you can open that lead you to the ladder. I forget all the time, it happens. But again, just find your way back out the exact same way you came in, climb up the ladder, climb up the staircase, and you're ready for another run. Drink a couple doses of prayer potion to last you the first 3 brothers, and that's basically all there is to it. Alrighty guys, now that you know how to do a Barrows run with the first method, you basically know all you need to know about Barrows, so let's go over the second method. In the second method, you are going to be using melee, so you need 90 plus attack and strength. I really don't recommend doing melee with anything lower than this. Just to be honest, you just hit too many zeros. It makes it not efficient to melee, so 90 plus attack and strength I would definitely recommend. At that point, you're hitting efficient enough for it to be actually worth doing. 70 plus prayer, I consider this a requirement because piety flicking makes a huge difference when you're trying to kill the melee brothers, so I would say that 70 plus prayer is a requirement. And 70 plus defense is also a requirement. That way you can either wield full veracs or bandos, which I guess is 65 defense or whatever. But I would assume that you're going to use veracs because A, it's more efficient, as in it hits more often than a godsword / whip. and it's much, much cheaper than a godsword or bandos or anything. So I would say 70 plus defense for full veracs. So those are the requirements. Let's go over the gear. Alrighty guys, so the recommended gear setup, as you can see that I'm wearing, it is full veracs, a fury, fire cape, Barrows gloves, D boots. So again, upgrade and downgrade when you can. Obviously, you can't downgrade the full veracs. Like, you either have full veracs or you don't. You know, you have to have all 4 pieces. But if you do have full bandos and a godsword, or full bandos and a whip and a defender, and you don't want to use full veracs, you could do that. But considering veracs is much cheaper, I have no idea why you wouldn't just use full veracs. So pause again if you need to take another look at all the requirements, all the items and whatnot. So okay guys, so now that you know your requirements and your gear setup, let's go over the inventory. It is the same concept as the other inventory, except this time you're going to want to bring super attack and strengths. So bring guthans if you have it, as well as the SGS. It allows you to heal. That way you can do longer trips and whatnot. Again, I cannot tell you how many prayer potions and sharks to bring. You just kind of have to figure that out for yourself. Because I only bring 8 doses of super attack and strength, 8 total for each set. I only bring 8 prayer potions, which usually lasts me long enough. So again, just you kind of have to test that out and figure out how many prayer potions you need and whatnot. I have already showed you guys how to get to Barrows and how to kill them. It's literally the exact same, except you melee. I'm not going to go back to Barrows and show you guys how to kill them with melee, because again, it's the exact same. Except this time, you need to pray melee as often as you can, because obviously you're going to get hit. But alrighty guys, so I hope this guide has helped you. If it has helped you, please leave a like. This video took me a very long time to make. It was a pretty high effort video, so again, if you did enjoy it, please drop a like and maybe subscribe. But again, also too, if you have any questions, feel free to add me in game and ask me a question, or drop a comment down below. Honestly though, if you drop a comment down below, that is much more likely for me to see it and actually reply to it, because I do kind of get swamped with private messages sometimes and I might not see yours. So I would recommend just leaving a comment if you have any questions. And with that, see you later guys.